Success has a price. Everyone wants the trophy. Very few want the bill. We admire greatness from a distance because we only see the moment the world applauds. We don't see the mornings that began before sunrise, the birthdays that were missed, the friendships that slowly disappeared, the endless hours when nobody believed the sacrifice would be worth it. We see the crown. We rarely see the weight of wearing it. If there is one story that reveals this better than almost any other, it is the story of Michael Jordan. Today, people remember him as perhaps the greatest basketball player who ever lived. They remember the championships, the impossible shots, the trophies, the shoes, the legend. But legends are not born in stadiums. They are built in empty gyms. Long before millions of people shouted his name, Michael Jordan was simply a teenager who wanted to make his school's varsity basketball team. And he failed. He wasn't selected. Imagine that moment. The player who would become the greatest in history was told he wasn't good enough. Most people would have accepted the verdict. After all, if the coaches don't believe in you, why should you believe in yourself? But Jordan made a different decision. Instead of allowing rejection to become his excuse, he turned it into fuel. Every disappointment became another reason to train. Every criticism became another reason to improve. He wasn't obsessed with proving people wrong. He became obsessed with becoming better than yesterday. That is where success begins, not with talent, but with a decision. A decision to continue after everyone else has stopped. People often ask, what does it take to become extraordinary? Perhaps they're asking the wrong question. The better question is, what are you willing to give up? Because success is an exchange. You trade comfort for discipline. You trade entertainment for practice. You trade certainty for risk. You trade today's pleasure for tomorrow's possibility. Michael Jordan understood this better than most. His teammates often spoke about his relentless standards. Practice wasn't optional. Excellence wasn't occasional. It was expected. Not because he enjoyed suffering, but because he knew something most people ignore. You don't rise to greatness during the championship. You reveal the habits you built long before anyone was watching. Think about that. The game never creates your character. It exposes it. Pressure doesn't invent discipline. It reveals whether discipline already exists. This is why success looks effortless from the outside. You're watching the performance. You're not watching the thousands of invisible repetitions that made the performance possible. The world applauds the shot. It never applauds the mornings spent missing that same shot again and again and again. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't fail because they lack potential. They fail because they underestimate the price. They want extraordinary results while living ordinary habits. They want confidence without uncomfortable practice. They want freedom without years of discipline. But life doesn't negotiate. It always asks the same question. What are you willing to exchange? Michael Jordan paid the price before the reward arrived. That is why the reward lasted. Today, your dream may not be basketball. Perhaps it's building a business, creating art, writing a book, growing a YouTube channel, changing your family's future. Whatever it is, the principle remains the same. There will be days when nobody notices your work, days when the numbers disappoint you, days when quitting feels reasonable. Those are the days that decide your future, because every successful person eventually reaches a point where motivation disappears and only discipline remains. That is the true cost of success. Not talent, not luck. Discipline, sacrifice, patience, the willingness to continue long after the excitement has faded. Michael Jordan once said that he failed over and over again in his career, and that was precisely why he succeeded. Failure wasn't the opposite of success. It was part of the journey toward it. So before you envy someone's achievements, ask yourself whether you would gladly carry the weight they carried to earn them. Because every crown has a cost. Every masterpiece has unseen hours behind it. Every extraordinary life is built on ordinary days used extraordinarily well. The question isn't whether success is expensive. It is. The question is whether the life you want is worth paying for. Welcome to the Inner Mirror, because the greatest victories are won long before the world notices. Until the next reflection, look within.